Hi, everyone. We are so excited for today's session. This is something that is near and dear to my heart. Happy summer. I hope everyone is having a great summer out there. But we are with the Plant Juice founders, Plant Juice Oils. Are you Plant Juice? Yeah, Oils founder, Marcy and Amber. I found the company maybe about a year ago, a little over a year ago. I was looking for CBD for my anxiety. And just so you guys know, I am a legit user of their amazing products. So I thought, just because so many of you have filled out forms and asked questions about CBD and the differences between tinctures and rub-ons and THC and CBD, and just how it can help both during treatment and after, they were wonderful enough to come join us for this session. So I'd first love to start with just introducing you guys, letting us know how you both came into the CBD world. And I love the story about how you met each other. So if we could just start with you guys, just introducing yourself, telling us about the company and how you met, would be great.
I'll start. My name is Amber Lane, and my business partner is Marcy Freed. We started the company out of necessity and a need. My partner, Robin Roberts, had just finished her life-saving bone marrow transplant, and it left her with some side effects that really affected her. And I was just looking for something really natural, holistic, to help ease her stomach issues and help, after being looked after for so long, now you're left on your own. And she started to develop anxiety. And so my mission was to find something holistic to help her. And I was introduced into essential oils. And before I was going to give them to Robin, I was like, let me just try them on myself. And through her treatment, I developed really bad sleeping disorders. And I got hooked on really strong sleep meds. So I was like, let me just try them. I started with the easy essential oil, lavender. I diffused it and it knocked me out. And I was like, I just chalked it up to, I'm just really tired. So the second night I did it again, and I was like, oh my gosh, this cannot be, but it was. And so Marcy and I go down, we were part of the same dog run. It's in New York City. That's where you let your dogs run and play. And we're on the Upper West Side. And I went down and I was just sharing my love of essential oils. And I've seen Marcy in the dog run before, but we never really talked. And I just started talking and sharing, and all of a sudden, I always say, Marcy came over with her little ears pricked up, and she just started asking questions, and that's how I actually met Marcy, my business partner. And I'll let her take it from there, because then she is how we married the CBD along with essential oils.
Yeah. So my ears perked up because I have twin daughters, and one of them she was 14 at the time, and she was suffering from severe anxiety, crippling, paralyzing anxiety. And with her medical history and her age at the time, I just was looking for an option other than just putting her on a medication. And so I was completely intrigued by Amber and the essential oils. And so we just were sponges trying to learn everything we could about these powerful oils and how they worked. And then we just started making, just kind of, let's try and make something for sleep. Let's try and make something for this or that, and making them for our friends, and everything was working. And then people kept coming back to us and like, oh, can you make me something, for this or for that? And so we knew we were on to something. And at the same time, my nephew was in the medical marijuana fields, and he said, now this is going back maybe 5 years ago. So CBD was not known at all. And he introduced us to it, and he said, this is something you guys really should look into. You can't get high and blah, 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 blah. So we did. So we started doing our research, and then it was like our aha moment. Okay, wait, so you take the essential oils and you take the CBD and you put it together, and you have this powerhouse of amazingness. So that's how we started. And we just built a line around that. We started our line really for women going through menopause and also women going through treatment. And it's kind of moved and changed a little bit throughout the years. But, we still really like to take care of our women. That's really our main focus, and creating all natural products to help people with just like everyday issues that we all have.
Sleep. We started with like 4: sleep, stress, hot flashes, and low energy. And then it has built that, those are like our pillars. And then we've built from there. And then we added more to it. And then we added the tincture that you take under your tongue. We have gel caps for overall wellness and sleep. Our roller blends that we like to call it our wheel of wellness. Yes. So, we are women that we've built this company with. We call them our peeps. Beth Painter is on here. I see her name, but where are you? She's like one of the OG people. She's been with us from the beginning. And that's what we really love. We love helping our women, and then they grow with us and they become part of this. We've built this wonderful community. Mm-hmm. And a day doesn't go by where you're answering DMs and emails and people, you get pinged all day long, and they share so much with us, and they share what's going on with them, and you like grow together. But this community, and it's just wonderful.
And then what, and I literally, you're like, we have 4 things, and it's like, as you're naming them off, I'm like, yep, I have that one, I have that one, I have that one, I have that one. And this is like, I can't live without the chill out.
Yes.
I don't have the new packaging yet. I have just a tiny bit left in this, but the one thing that I think a lot of people have confusion about, and I was in Oakland last week, and I went into a pot store dispensary, and it was all THC stuff. So what is the difference between CBD and THC, and what do they do that are common, and what is the difference about them, so people can understand what they're looking for, and that they can use something to fall asleep or go to work or go shopping or be with their kids, the difference in those two?
Well, CBD and THC they both come from cannabis. They're cannabinoids. THC is THC is what makes you high. So basically THC and CBD affect your body receptors differently. We have a CB1 receptor, you have a CB2 receptor. THC is going to affect your CB1 receptor. So what does that mean? That means hallucinogenic, that means hungry, like all of these things that you get when you're high. CBD, you don't have, you don't have all of those kinds of reactions. So CBD tends to be more of, it can help you sleep, it can help with inflammation, it can help with pain, all different things. And I think what's so complicated with CBD is that there's no clear cut answer, or there's no prescription for everybody. It affects everybody's body chemistry completely differently. So there are 3 different types of CBD. There is what's called an isolate, there is a broad spectrum, and there is a full spectrum. So an isolate is just that. It's only CBD. It's no other terpenes or cannabinoids, anything like that. Broad spectrum is CBD and also some yummy terpenes and other cannabinoids in there as well. So it becomes kind of like an entourage effect. 0 THC. Full spectrum is everything that I mentioned, but it also has a little bit of THC in it. So when people are buying CBD, you have to be really careful, because a very common question that we get is, will I pass a drug test if I'm taking CBD? Chances are, if you're taking full spectrum, you will not pass that drug test. It will show up because it is a trace of the THC. So we use broad spectrum in all of our products, and because we don't want to get into the THC world, but we do love all the positive effects of those other cannabinoids that you get from the broad spectrum.
That's amazing. That's, yeah.
I hope that it's sometimes it's hard to explain it, that it makes sense. So I'm hoping that
No, it makes total sense. And it's a great way to sort of break it down so that it's easy to understand the different levels. And how do you guys, when you're coming out with a product, like what was the first product that you made with CBD?
Doze off.
Yeah.
Our
And was
sleep-
it because of the sleeping issues that you had?
Yeah, it was, well, when we started tinkering around in the beginning, I had the sleep issue. You know, I was tackling sleep, and Marcy was gravitated towards women going through menopause. And so our first one was Doze Off and Get a Grip, which is our stress. And I think those were the only two that we had it in, right? And then
Yeah, we
the line, we were like, I mean, we're talking, we didn't know what we were doing. We were just having to go for it. Then we're like, wait a second, it should be in everything. But it was Doze Off for sleep, because we always like to say sleep is the foundation of your next day. If you do not get a good night's sleep, you are going to be a hot mess the next day. You're going to be, you know, you're not clear-headed, you're tired, obviously, you're irritable. Like sleep is really, really, really important. So that was the first one that we nailed down the recipe. We put the CBD in it. In that Doze Off sleep roller, there are phenomenal essential oils that work really well with the CBD. And we like to say it'll knock you out, but you don't feel hungover the next day, which is nice.
Yeah, it's really not. And that's why I love it so much. And what, in terms of like ingesting, because I know you guys have tinctures and you have the roll-ons and you have the mist, and then, oh, nice. And then do you guys also have a lotion that's just come out? I know that you launched.
Well, yes, we do.
we do.
So you can sort of explain like what the difference is between, that looks so beautiful.
awesome.
Oh, I can't wait to get that.
Amber, do you have the soft gels to show?
I do. They're not labeled.
Oh.
I do. And we also have like gel caps.
So
So
how does it work? Like how does it work differently if someone's, you know, like someone, meaning me, has issues sleeping, also has issues with knee and hip joint issues? How would you recommend like tinctures versus lotions versus roll-ons? Do they do different things, and can you use them all together?
yes. Okay. So the one thing with CBD, which is different from THC, is that you're not going to have that moment where you're like, oh my gosh, it's hitting me. You're just, if you take it like orally, right, under the tongue, and you take it daily, it helps bring your body back to homeostasis. So you're not going to have that moment where, oh my gosh, like it's hitting, my knee's going to feel better. You're just going to realize, oh my goodness, my headaches are down, my joints feel better. It's just like this overall wellness with the tincture. That takes time, but you're going to get there. When you do like our 0 in roller, it's I'm like a little bit away. It's like it's exactly what it says. It's going to 0 in, and you're going to use it on smaller joints, your wrists, your knees, and so like Marcy explained before, the CBD attaches and works with the receptor within your body in that area, and then the essential oils go in and go throughout the body, right? So you're going to use rollers if you want almost instantaneously relief. The cream, another pain cream, another product of pain is our cream. And this one is you're going to use the cream if you have like broader areas, right? 0 in is smaller and to the point, and the cream is broader, deep penetrating into the muscles. It's great for low back, hip, like it's just so.
So taking all of that together you can't overdose on CBD. Like you can't have too much.
I mean, if you maybe like drank the bottle, it probably wouldn't be the best thing, but
yeah.
It's
Now, if someone's a little hesitant to try CBD products, where would you have them start? Like, should they start with the spray first or cream first before taking it orally? Like, where do you guys suggest people start?
I would start with, so if you're wanting to combat hot flashes, right? I would start with the chill out spray. If
Okay.
you're really wanting to get some sleep, do the rollers. Like really start with something that's easier to kind of wrap your head around.
Mhm.
But then we also have people that just dive into the tincture. The thing is with the tincture, you have to realize you're going to think like, oh, it's not really doing anything. Like, is this a hoax? But you keep doing it and you take it because it's got to get into your system. And then it just becomes, a daily thing. But I would start with a roller, a spray, the cream,
And you can use all of those at the same time as well. So
Yeah.
you don't have to only use one product at a time.
And people, I'm assuming it's safe for people. A lot of people who are going to be watching this are with Warrior Revolution. So it's fine for people who are in treatment. They should definitely, check with their doctor and talk about them. But, and Amber, I know with your circumstance, you actually had, your wife was in treatment. I don't know if you had designed it when she was, but how for people who are in going through chemo or radiation, how does it help them get through that process? Is it the same as those of us who aren't now?
Yes, you definitely always consult with your oncologist, of course. Robin really wishes she had this during treatment because the anxiety you get that she spoke about, our roller Get a Grip would have been perfect. Just a little, Get a Grip is our stress roller. So if she would have just rolled it onto her pulse points, it just would have brought anxiety down a little bit. Definitely during treatment. Our Soothe roller we created for women going through treatment with the nausea that you get. It's just I just remember her just being so nauseous. So that was another one. We just added it back onto the line. So I don't think you know about it, Cynthia, but
No.
So that's Soothe. So what's wonderful is these products, when we were speaking with our friend Rachel Beller, who's a nutritionist that specializes with women going through treatment, she said, you shouldn't have two separate lines. These can be used whether you're going through treatment or you're going through menopause or, you're wherever you are in your life stages, anyone can use these products. So it's not the medications that one might be taking or, undergoing during treatment might affect it a little in terms of depending on how powerful, chemo might be or radiation, but it's still going to affect the body the same.
That's really good to know. And yeah, definitely everybody check with your doctor just to make sure. But I know a lot of people who have used it during treatment to great results. They swear by it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about essential oils as well, because I'm a massive essential oil fan, and I know Sarah is too. What are your favorite essential oils and why?
Ooh. You want to start?
I know what my favorite one is.
Talking.
Keep going. What's your favorite? I know what Amber's is, but I'll let her say it.
I have two. My favorite, I would have to say, I love lavender. Lavender is what got me into essential oils. It was the breakthrough for me. I love her because she is the mother of all. She has so many uses. She's just gentle. Her aroma, like pure lavender, is just a beautiful scent. She's great for sleep, great for skin, great for hair, relaxation. I mean, she wears many hats, and I like that. My second favorite is bergamot. And
yeah.
I love bergamot because bergamot and lavender together is just heavenly. But bergamot is a citrus oil from the orange family. And because she's a citrus, you'd think she'd be, like an energizer, but she's actually also a relaxant. And she works in the system both ways. Like you can, smell her and it'll be like, but she just has this little, like, she's just so calming. I'm a chill girl.
Yes, she is.
So I would have to say those are my, I mean, two right off the top of my head.
I love that.
Hard to narrow down.
What's that?
It's hard to narrow down. There's so many good
know.
I know what Marcy's is.
ones. She does know what mine is.
What is it?
Frankincense.
Yes.
Frankincense is my all-time favorite. I love that oil. I love the way it smells. I just love everything about it. And it is a powerhouse oil that, you know, like the running joke is always, it was like a gift for Jesus. So if it's good enough for Jesus, it's, you know, it's good enough for all of us. But, you know, for anybody also that wants to do a little research, there's some pretty cool studies on frankincense and cancer. There's a website I'm sure you're aware of called PubMD, and it has a lot of studies. And, you know, we don't really talk about that or promote or say that our products can help in any way, but it might, for people that are interested, there's some pretty cool studies out there.
Yeah. We always say frankincense is like the Windex on My Greek Wedding.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's hilarious. Yeah.
I feel like that's everything. It's like her and lavender are the Windex.
Yeah. And the cream, I always say about the cream, you have a problem, put some of the CBD cream on it.
Yeah. Lavender is by far my favorite, and we source ours from this high altitude area in Provence, France. I say it's because it's a little bit earthier, which I love, an earthy scent, which is why I also love frankincense. My husband says it's so that, you know, I can go there and do research. I'm like, I thought it was on this age. He's like, yeah, I'm on to you.
No, that's not.
Oh, are we getting reverb?
I'm putting.
Are you good?
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Got it. And so as business founders, I want to ask you a couple questions, because a lot of people who are part of Warrior Revolution, I think it's a thing that happens when you go through cancer. You suddenly realize you don't like what you're doing and you want to find a passion and you want to go after it. So what would your advice be to people who are starting a business based on their passion? What would you think is something really important to note? And what is there a mistake that you made, which I think is also really helpful for people to hear, that you just think, oh my God, I can't believe that happened?
Not only do we have a mistake, we have a box that we call our box of mistake, that we just, that thing is overflowing at this point with the amount of mistakes that we have made. It just comes with the territory. I mean, I would say the biggest thing is expect that it's going to take a lot longer than you would think. No, you know, you have to be kind of willing to just go with the flow, even though that's one of the name of our rollers, but things are going to change and things are going to come up, and, you know, you're going to most likely end up on a different looking path than where you started, and that's all okay. And I think for Amber and I mean, we could name a million things that we've done wrong, 1,000,001, like so many. And the biggest thing is, you know, we all make mistakes. We're human and we're figuring stuff out. And the biggest thing is just learn from the mistake, move on, and you just don't want to make it twice. And as long as you're not making that mistake twice, it's all good.
I would like to add to this. If I didn't have Marcy as my business partner, I would probably still be trying to figure out how to start this business. And that is, like, I think so many, maybe not Marcy, Marcy's the fire underneath me, you know, like, again, I'm very chill, you know, whatever. But I'm also like, I'm a really bad critic of myself. And, you know, you always want it to be perfect. You always want to know what you're doing. You always, you know, and so that may like hinder you from actually just starting. Just start. Make one day one. That's what you got to do. And then as you just start, you don't even, you know, you may not even know where to begin, but just begin somewhere. One little tiny little step. And then it just starts to grow and build. where we were last year to where we are now, it's light years of just so many different things have happened. 2 years ago is completely different. 3 years ago is so different. So, you always have that goal in sight and you just chip away, ask for help. Like, we got so much help from people that, in the business of just in wellness, ask for help, you have to surround yourself with people that are going to be lifting you up,
Mhm.
and that is really, really important. We are so fortunate to we call it our like web of women. And, you also have to support other businesses out there, and everyone's going through it, and you just kind of really support each other. So just get out there and start, follow your passion, know in your heart what it is that you want, and then you just keep working towards it.
And I would also chime in, realize what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. And, you build on your strengths, and either you find a partner that balances you out like we did, because we're completely different in our strengths and our weaknesses, or, there's plenty of people, there's freelancers, there's all different types of people that can help with things that maybe you feel like are too overwhelming, like it's impossible to think that you're going to be able to handle everything and do it well. So know what your strengths are, go hard into your strengths, and have people help you on the areas that you just have no idea what you're doing.
Which is a lot.
For us, it's a lot. Yeah.
Sarah and I were talking about that earlier today, because she runs her business with her sister. I'm like, oh my God, every day I'm like, why don't I have a partner? It's like, it gets so hard, and you do question yourself so much. And sometimes I just need someone to go, choose the blue one, just choose the blue one. And it's like having that person there to just say, it's okay, that was a screw up, let's move on. So I love the idea of a great partnership in a business as well. So,
Yeah. And we were also just talking this morning about how it takes so long.
Yeah.
For anything to happen. You're just chugging. You have to be super patient, and you get there eventually.
Yeah.
You also have to like really celebrate the little moments too.
Yeah.
It could be as small as, oh my gosh, we just we found someone that could print stickers for us or something, just like really celebrate the small as you're working towards the big, because those little small steps, if you don't appreciate, if you don't just be like, look what we did today, and it could be so mundane. It could be just like you do it every day, but it's like you're getting it done.
Yeah.
And you just want to throw in the towel so many times, but there's always just so much more around the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we always say to each other, just hang on, because something's going to bring you back up that hill.
I know.
You just have
High
to-
highs and low lows.
That's the journey of it.
It's so much harder than I would have ever expected it to be.
Yeah.
That
I
much
don't have
is true.
kids, but I imagine it's like when women are like, I had no idea how hard that was going to be, but I don't know if I would go through it. But then you forget it once the child is born. You're like, oh my God, I want another. I always think that's so insane. Like, you want another? And I think that's sort of like owning a business. Like, you forget about, you have one really good moment, and then you forget about all the hardships that you went through. It just evaporates, and you're like, I want to do, I want to launch more. So
Yeah.
and how do you guys, in terms of your creativity and coming up with formulas, what is your process? What do you start with? Do you start with the oils? Do you start with the other ingredients? Do you start with like, we want to make a cream or something for calming? What is your process?
We pick, we try to fill a void of what women need, right? So that, we need to tackle sleep. We need to tackle stress. We did that. Now, like, what else is out there that, women are struggling with? Headaches, joint pain. So we start with what it is we're trying to address. And then we have an idea of the oils, but we also work with a chemist. And then we send everything to him, and he just finesses everything for us. And he may take out, add, and then that's pretty much like what it is we're trying to address. and then work backwards that way.
Mhm.
We'll suggest, we'll say, we want to create something for, joint pain, and we really think that oil XYZ would be great. And then to Amber's point, and then he just kind of puts it all together, makes it work.
Do you guys have anything that you're working on now that's going to be launching this year that you'd like to announce? If
Why,
it's
yes, we do. It's very, very, hopefully next week we should be launching. We like to listen to what our customers are looking for or asking for. And so we wanted to, we created Mask It during the pandemic, which was an essential oil spray for the inside of your face masks. And it was just phenomenal. I mean, it was just such an incredible product. And so we wanted to continue with some other products that did not contain CBD, because it is still a bit controversial. And, sometimes we knew that people were a little like, I'm not so sure if I want to try that yet. So we are launching a home line, and we created a spray called Namaste at Home Spray. And it is a all natural sanitizing cleaner for your yoga mat, for your Peloton, for any of your at-home gym equipment.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so that's one product. And then because of how well our Mask It did and people loved the scents, we created a room spray, and it's called So Fresh, and it is just super yummy.
What is the scent profile?
I'm sorry, say that again.
What's the scent profile?
So the So Fresh is sweet orange, lemongrass, and spearmint.
Oh,
So
Oh.
It's so nice. And I have my 18 and a half year old daughters, who are the biggest critics, are like, oh yeah, this smells good. It smells really good.
That is awesome. And so what would you say to someone who, Marcy, you just mentioned that some people are like, oh, I'm nervous to try it. What would you say to someone who is debating, and we sort of covered this early, but just sort of like one-on-one with someone who's like, oh, I don't want to get it because it has CBD. I've heard about it. I want to try it. What would you say to them about how it can change their life? I mean, that's dramatic, but you know what I mean.
I would say, kind of going back to what Amber said, I think, slow and steady, starting with the spray, starting with the rollers. I think for people that are afraid of CBD, probably the tincture is at the bottom of their list of things to try. And anything topical, it's so safe, and it can't hurt you in any way. And if you want to kind of just like put your pinky toe in the water, that's a really good place to start.
That's awesome. And now, does anybody, LaDawn or Dell or Beth, do any of you have any questions that you want to ask Amber and Marcy? We'd love to have you pop up and ask whatever you'd like.
Come
No.
on, Beth.
Is she turning the camera? She's turning her camera off. All right, people are shy today. It's the weather. Everybody's feeling logy today.
Yeah.
Sarah, is there anything, did she come on?
I did come on.
Beth?
Amber.
Hi.
Hi. I don't have any questions right now, because anytime I have a question, these ladies answer it so quickly and so well. And as Amber said before, I'm an OG with plant juice oils, and I would not change that for anything, because I use so many of their products, and every one of them has filled a need that I've had. And I have the spray, and that they're launching. It's fabulous. So I just encourage people who are listening to this, if you have questions, just reach out to them, because they're so good about answering. And it's never oh, we want to sell you this, so we're going to say this. They're honest, and they're wonderful women. And so that's my little commercial for plant juice oils, because again, they're just terrific, and the products come straight from their heart. And I just love that about both of them.
Oh, what a nice testament.
No,
Thank you, Beth. That was so sweet.
that is so sweet. Were they the first CBD company you tried, or were you a CBD user before you found them, or was this your first foray into using products with CBD in it?
I had used a tincture before from a local company, and I had not, and I had used some essential oils for diffusing, but I really like the rolling. I like the idea of rolling it on. And I have a little plant juice bag in my purse at all times, because I just never know when, you just never know when you might need to get a grip. And so that was new to me, the roller with the CBD with the essential oil. And I just love that, because it's just the perfect combination. And the tincture, I have to say, is so smooth. When you put it under your tongue, the recommendation is to leave it there and then swallow it. And honestly, I just don't think about swallowing it, because it just absorbs. So it's not like you put it in and go, whoa, what's that? So it's just really smooth, and I appreciate that a lot. But the quality of the products. So yeah, I had tried other CBD, and when I first tried their tincture, I thought this is it, because I'd even tried ones that had flavors in them, and the people put the flavors to mask the fact that they weren't as smooth. And this doesn't need a flavor, because it just melts into you. And
That's awesome.
did that answer your question, Cynthia?
Yes, very
Yeah.
much so. And it's everything that I feel about the products as well. I love them. I have to get a plant juice bag, because I do have them all by my bed. And one thing I wanted to ask, I haven't diffused at all, but I know it's something that I have to do, but I guess I get overwhelmed with choosing a diffuser, choosing how much product to put in. I feel like diffusers sometimes get a bad rap, because a lot of them are connected to MLM companies. So how do you guys, can you talk about how you use, if there's a diffuser that you like, and how one would go about starting to diffuse, how much to put in, how much during the day to have it, where to have it in your rooms? I think that would be helpful for people as well.
Well, our products, we can't diffuse any of our products because of the CBD.
Oh,
Yeah, because it's too, the molecule, the chemical compound, essential oils are compounds. The CBD is too thick, and it will actually not work. It'll break
good
your
to know.
diffuser. Yeah. So
Yeah, it could break the diffuser. It's not going to have any, you might see some products out there. I forget where we saw some CBD that was like for a diffuser, and no, just
no.
walk the other way. It won't work. Even if it does come up through the diffuser, you're not going to get any benefits from it.
Well, I think you just touched on something so well. I think there's so many in the last couple of years, so many CBD companies coming out, and you don't know what's, like, they're talking about where is the CBD sourced and the THC, and there's so many, because nothing's really regulated. I think that's why finding a company like Plant Juice Oils is so important for us to share that, because there are so many questions. How do I know that this is reputable? How do I know that this is sourced smartly and ethically? I think that once everything gets regulated, that will change. But I think that's also really important, why people should be sure that they go with a company that has been recommended by somebody who uses CBD regularly.
I mean, yes, definitely. Always, we have them on our website, and if you don't work with our CBD, that's fine. But always check for a COA, and companies will test for synthetics and molds and anything you don't want present in a CBD oil, as well as with essential oils.
Mhm.
Always always look for the COAs, and that's third-party testing, certificate of authenticity.
Mhm.
And because there there's a lot of companies out there, and lavender isn't supposed to smell like this strange scent that gives you a headache, that is the perfume. Like, when you walk into Bed Bath and Beyond, I get a headache almost
Yeah.
immediately because I
Mhm.
can't take the candles and I can't take the this. And, there's so much synthetics out there. So you want to look for the COAs. I have a favorite, like straight up essential oil company. If you want me to say, I can, that for if you want to diffuse. We stumbled upon this company called Revive.
What is it called?
Revive. And they are great. They are like a family owned. I think they're out of San Francisco, right, Marcy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do you not like them, Marcy?
No, I do. I love them.
Okay.
I love them.
I like them, so I like them. They created products. They created a lot of their oils are top notch. They're beautiful, and they also have diffusers. They're great.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm looking them up.
Yeah.
And diffusing is the thing with essential oils is, and you guys all probably know this, but you need just the teeniest little bit to make any kind of real, like the smallest drop will pack a punch. So you don't have to sit and, pour your oil into the diffuser. You fill the water to the water line. You could put in 2 or 3 drops. That's all you need. And a good quality diffuser will fill a room with that yummy scent pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, I love them. I'm looking them up, and it's so hard because in the green beauty space, the people have such great intentions, and you hear about certain essential oil companies that they're working for, they believe in, and you just think, oh no. And the fact that Revive addresses this on their site is, I'm sold. I'm going to look into them. I love that. And they don't do it without bashing anything. They're just like, oh, compare. So I love that.
Yeah.
Because listen, there's companies out there and their oils they're great.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be paying so much money for just an essential oil. I mean, you don't want to go too cheap. You don't want to go too inexpensive, but I mean, come on.
Yeah.
A bottle of frankincense should not cost anywhere of $75 to $85.
Yeah.
Crazy. So we found them and we love them.
Yeah.
No, I love that. And I just love how they handle that whole situation. I think it's pretty awesome. Sarah, I'll send you the link. It's great. Ardell, did you have a question?
It's kind of amazing how they do it, but it's like,
What?
It's kind of amazing how they do it. You're just like, oh.
Yeah, no, yeah. So that's been my struggle in green beauty rooms and whatnot is, how much, like, I just bite my tongue, but I could go on for days on end about, and I've, Sarah and I bitched about it too. So it's like, just to see, I'm just going to send people over to that site and go, if you have questions about the efficacy and the sourcing, just check this website out. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Ardell, did you have a question?
I do.
Awesome.
Now I have another question. So how much is a bottle of frankincense on Revive?
Ooh, I'll look it up for you.
Okay.
It's not
So-
$75 or $85.
Because that's a company I buy my essential oils from, but I haven't for a long time because I'm close to retirement.
You've bought from Revive before?
No, I bought from other companies that sell it for $75.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had to stop because I want to retire someday.
Yeah.
But
They range from, just so you know, Ardell, they range from $15 to $30. It's amazing. You can get some mixes.
Yes, I can restock my supply and not go into bankruptcy. Well, I joined this seminar because I know absolutely nothing about CBD oil, and it is all the rage. I'm in South Dakota. So, the people voted in to have pot legalized, but And along with that, all these companies are out there selling CBD oil. Of course, I am a cancer fighter. And it's just like, I know nothing. Plus, I'm an addict, so I don't want to do THC products.
Mhm.
So now here's my second question. Can you do straight CBD without putting it with anything else? And what is it? It's an oil itself, correct?
Mhm. It is. It'll be in a tincture, right?
That's CBD oil straight in a tincture.
This is, yes, and it has a carrier oil of olive oil. Other companies may use fractionated coconut oil, MCT oil,
Sure.
but it'll look like,
Ah, wow.
yeah.
So what part oil, well, your olive oil, and what part CBD oil? 50-50? Or
That
is
is a good, so each, that is a really good question, but
Each bottle contains 1,350 mgs of CBD.
thank you. I was trying to
And
do that.
that breaks down to each serving is 45 mgs of CBD. I don't know the actual percentage of what
Right.
the olive oil is on top of that, but that's really the only number you need to know is how many mgs per serving you're
Yeah.
getting.
and what a normal megs per serving would be about 45, or is that on the high end?
That's on the high,
Okay,
25.
25 to 45.
And with our tincture, some tinctures have it. I mean, some companies have it, some do not. But there's, you can see
Oh.
the numbers.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
that'll just tell you. And Marcy and I always say, start slow and low.
Mhm.
And say, you start with like 25 milligrams and you'll see it on your dropper. Put it under your tongue. And I take it in the morning.
Mhm.
And really just monitor yourself for a week and see how you feel. And then, if you feel like you may need a little bit more, it's like Marcy said earlier, everybody's body chemistry is different and everybody's going to work, react differently to it. You're not going to overdose, but you also want to find that sweet spot. And what is that sweet spot? The sweet
Mhm.
spot is after you've monitored for about a week, maybe 2 weeks, you don't have as much aches and pains, or you just feel more balanced.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you also have to see, I know I have family members, one of my daughters, my nephew, it knocks them out. They just fall asleep. For me, I take it in the morning because it keeps me up. So that depends on the person. So to Amber's point, you got to kind of play around and figure out what works best for you.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, again, I really appreciate this. I even missed my support group for this. It was a hard decision, but I'm so glad I came.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you.
And I met Violet's our blue and sassy sisters, or whatever the other company
Healthy
is.
girls,
Yeah, yeah. At a breast conference, virtual breast conference. So yay for Zoom during this time. And
Mhm.
yeah, so again, thanks, but I'm gonna go mute. I think that's all I had.
Well, and Ardell, I don't
Thank
know if
you.
you're listening, but if you have any other questions, Marcy and Amber are amazing at responding to questions. So you can get on their website, plantjuiceoils.com, and look around and just email them, I'm thinking about this, just let them know that you met them here and that you have questions, and they'll get back to you immediately.
Yeah.
I don't want to say immediately, that I don't know, but
Right.
they will get back to you and let you know what they suggest.
I love speaking. I handle most of the customer service, customer service. Like I end up speaking to anyone mostly that reaches out. So
Super.
just
I
send
guess
an email and I will get back to you
Yeah.
fairly quickly, and then we'll discuss and you know.
I think I think I will try because I don't have so many effects of cancer treatment right now, but boy, is arthritis in my knees or something like that. So yeah, what's it called?
You're 0 in.
0 in. So that's a roll on.
It's a roll on.
Yeah,
It's
I
great
will
for
be
arthritis.
emailing you and asking tincture or roll on. Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you ladies so much for joining us on this hot December. I'm so glad we taped it because I got texts from 5 people saying their kids were nightmares today. So they were hoping to be here. So I let them know that we taped it literally like one after the other. It must be the weather or something, but people's children are freaking out today. So I'm so appreciative. You know, I know that we've done this before and I'm sure we'll be calling you to ask you to do it again. And I just think that this education is so important, and getting the right CBD company in front of people is really important, just because I see so many things, you know, there's so much going on that I want to keep people geared into companies that work, that are ethical, that are run by women, and that have great stories, but above all have beautiful products that I love. So I'm so appreciative of you doing this. We're so appreciative you do this. Sarah also had to mute her mic because her kids came home. So I don't know if you're still
They're upstairs now. I was like, I looked at Chris, I was like, upstairs. Oh, yeah, but this was wonderful. We really appreciate the time you guys took to talk to us, and we'll share a recording of this out to everybody in the next couple of days.
So everyone go to plantjuiceoils.com, email them for your questions. You can also email me and I can let you know what I use, because I used everything, and I'll be placing my order tonight for that cream. I've been dying to get that cream, but you were sold out. So, so thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening.
Oh, sorry. A code for.
Oh, right. Yes. Yes. We were going to give 15% off of any of our products if you use the code Violet.
Awesome.
Violet with an S or Violet no S?
Violets. Sorry, Violets with an S.
15% off with Violets.
Yes.
Would be great, and we'll send that out to everybody as well. So
great.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it, and just thank you.
Oh my gosh, thank you, and thank you for making such incredible products. And I love them. So have a wonderful evening, everyone. Stay cool, stay dry, depending on where you are. It looks like it's about to storm again in New York. So
yeah, it does.
It hits us. So great. Everyone have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.